So that can be risky because the the chance that she'll discover a new technology is fairly low, and if she is discovered, then she'll be thrown into prison and then she can be executed. So it's really a risk. But okay, then we have the court chaplain, and he can lead a local inquisition. That's really the option you use if you want to convert a region, but he also converts subjects who live in that region, vassals included. Then there's also a risk that heathens will attack the court chaplain, or a heretic noble will rise, which is not good, and then the Pope will be unhappy. Unhappy Pope, unhappy Europe. Then he can research cultural tech. That's usually what I have him to do if I don't have any provinces with infidels or heretics. And then he can improve religious relations. And as I said before, only court chaplains can improve relations with bishops and the Pope. But right now I'm not really concerned with the Pope, so I'll just let him research cultural tech in Apulia. Well, London, if there's any other reason to send, yeah, I guess it really depends, because generally on average they have the highest technology, but some places might have let's say a higher technological advantage in heavy armor, and if that's what you want, then you can send them over there. But yeah, otherwise there isn't really any reason to send them other places. Now, another very important thing is laws. And we can see here it says Ducal Laws of Apulia. And this is where it gets very complicated, because yeah, I'll start running through the laws. These are the laws that only in effect in my duchy. And currently my succession law is Agnatic Cognatic Gavelkin, and that's really the most what's it called, common law. It was during feudal Europe, but they've implanted this mainly for game balancing. So yeah, this means that your oldest child, male child, will get the main titles, while your brothers will, if you have any other children, they'll also get some titles. There's only a few characters who have the one that is preferred by many CK players and probably also new players, the primogenitor, and I believe France has that that law, but that's not important right now. So here we can see my heir. That's my son, Roger de Hauteville, and that's the guy I'll be playing as once this guy dies. And then I have another son called Guy de Hauteville. He will get some titles, while I believe my daughter will not, because she's a woman. No, she will not get anything. But since I have Agnatic Cognatic, which means women can inherit if there is no male heir. And that means if you have only like 3 daughters, then the eldest daughter will get it all. She will not share any counties with the other daughters, so remember that. And here we have the different laws. Agnatic, that means that only yeah, if you choose this one, then it will only be male characters who can inherit, and that will make a little problem if you only stuck with female characters, like Henry VIII. And absolute cognatic, it means that women inherit the same grounds as men do. Meaning, if I had absolute cognatic, then my oldest child, my son, would inherit the main titles. Guy will inherit some titles, and then my daughter Matilda would also inherit some titles. And then we have the different succession laws. We have seniority, where the oldest member gets it all, and primogeniture, where the oldest get it all, the eldest. Then we have elective, which is very it's a hard thing to keep track on, and it's basically the Holy Roman Empire, where all the electors they basically vote for you, and any of your vassal is an elector, but depending on the strength of the vassal, he can have more than one vote. For instance, I believe the Holy Roman Emperor has like 20 votes or something. It's crazy. And then we have the conditions, and if we take a look at primogeniture, that's probably the most popular one. You must not previously have changed succession laws. You can only change succession laws once every character lifetime, once every ruler lifetime. And you have to reign at least 10 years. And I know my guy is old, but you have to have been in-game ruling 10 years. You have to be at peace. You cannot have a regency, and you have regencies if the character you play is under 16 years old. Then he's too young to rule, and you basically have somebody ruling in his stead until he gets old enough. And no vassals may be fighting each other. Yeah, vassals can fight each other. And no vassal has a negative opinion of you. And there's a cross over there, meaning that somebody doesn't like me that much. And one of the following must be true: not affected by a crown lord title. And I'll come to that later. Then we have all the other laws down here. We have feudal levies. It basically dictates how much my feudal lords, vassals, counts, dukes, and yeah, how many levies they are allowed to retain. And here you can see that they are allowed to keep at least 20% of the max levies. And of course, if you change that to max, then they'll be a little bit more pissed. And then you have feudal taxation. During medieval times, they didn't pay any tax, but you can quickly change that. But yeah, first the first law here gives you 10% of what they make, but they'll dislike you more, and that can quickly become a lot. Minus 30. That's a lot. Then we have city levies, city taxations. That's basically for the holdings in your domains that are cities. That's currently on normal, which is fine. And then we have church levies and church taxation. And you can completely excuse the church from paying any taxes at all. So yeah, that's basically the law screen. And then we have technology, finally. Now we have military technology, economic technology, and cultural technology. And like in CK1, you can decide where you want to focus. And I don't pay too much attention to the tech tree. I'll just have focus on bows, farming, and noble customs. It doesn't bother me. And if you mouse over one of your provinces, I'm mousing over my capital of Apulia, then you can see what advances the county has. And you can see it ranges. If I just move over to Bari, then suddenly it changes, and you can see Apulia has no stars in town infrastructure, while Bari has 3 stars. And the same goes for military technology. So, for instance, if one province is technological superior to another, then they will have stronger levies. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't pay too much attention to it. It's something that comes along with time. Then we have the military tab. Now, here you can see my personal levies from my domain. And if you mouse over, it says raised / unraised / max total, which means I have max total 450 levies from my personal domains, and I have none of them raised. 450 are unraised, and 0 are raised. And then here I have what I can get from my vassals. And if you want to raise them, you just click here, raise realm levies and raise personal levies. And then especially people who are new to the Crusader Kings franchise are wondering, yeah, Fanon, not bigger levies. Bigger levies come from improving the structures, but better levies come from technology. But yeah, so you might be wondering, especially those of you who haven't played CK before or are coming from other franchises like Europa Universalis 3, no, you cannot actively build soldiers. Feudal lords at that time, they did not have a standing army. I think the first standing army was somewhere in France in the 1400s, something like that. So basically, and levies, that's basically peasants in armor. Some of them might have never really had a sword in their hand before, until you raised them. But the only way you can really make bigger levies is if you improve the town structures, which I will show you later. Then you also have fleets, works the same way. And no, you cannot hire fleet mercenaries. So if you do not have a coastal province, then you will get no ships, which means in a crusade you'll be walking all the way to the Holy Land. I know it sucks, but yeah, and that's not even a good idea, because walking means time, and time means money, and walking also means attrition. It's not a good idea. But then we also have the mercenary tab. And see, mercenaries are really, especially for if you want to play a count or weaker duchies, and that's really your your way to glory or way to fame, because these guys, they are not peasants in armor. These guys are professionals. They're like the United States Marine Corps at the time, or the Russian Spetsnaz. They are really, you know, they're the best of the best. They, I mean, if I hire this guy, it's like 1,500 professional soldiers. The monthly cost is like 5 gold. That's a lot. But if I were to take these guys out with levies, I'd need at least 2,500 levies to take these guys out. So you can see how strong they are. But in time, when your technology improves and you get more levies, then their role will really diminish. But especially in the early ages, the first couple of 100 years, then these guys, they're badass. Now if you're playing Catholic, the Pope will sometimes form holy orders like the Knights Templar or Knights Hospita and all those orders, and they don't cost gold to hire, they cost piety, but they cost gold to maintain. And these armies, they're as big as 7,000 strong, and they cost like 25 gold to manage or to as upkeep, and that's fucking expensive. Excuse my language, but that's really expensive. I don't think you'll be able to afford it unless you're the Holy Roman Emperor or something. But if you do hire them, then remember one thing: they will not fight your Christian brothers. They will not fight Christians. Only infidels. Larry, a levy is it's basically a soldier. It's basically a peasant who was forced to